Hello everyone, this is Chand Kaur, working with Faculty of Pharmacy of RPIT Campus Karnal as Assistant Professor of Pharmacology. Today I am going to talk about emetics. What is emesis? Emesis is vomiting. It occurs due to stimulation of vomiting center situated in medulla oblongata. Vomiting and nausea may occur in variety of conditions such as motion sickness, pregnancy and hepatitis and are always unpleasant for the patient. They can be produced by many chemotherapeutic agents. Nearly 70 to 80% of all the patients who undergo chemotherapy experience nausea and vomiting. Let's discuss about mechanisms that trigger vomiting. Two brainstem sites have key role in vomiting reflex pathway that are CTZ and NTS. CTZ is chemoreceptor trigger zone and NTS is nucleus directus solitarius. Through this diagram, let's understand the mechanism of vomiting. CTZ and NTS, they act as relay station of afferent impulses arising in GIT, throat and visceral organs. CTZ is accessible to blood-borne drugs, mediators, hormones and many toxins because it is not protected by blood-brain barrier. Here in this diagram, we can see cytotoxic drugs, radiations, GI irritants cause the release of 5-HT3 from enterochromaffin cells. Released 5-HT3 acts on its receptor present over primary afferent neuron, that is PAN. PAN connects with vagal and spinal nerves and send impulses to CTZ and NTS. Moreover, platelets, inflammatory mediators also cause release of 5-HT3 and released 5-HT3 gets access into the blood circulation and reaches CTZ. Moreover, vomiting center also responds to afferent input from the vestibular system, the primary and higher brainstem and cortical structures. Let's discuss how does nausea occur. Because of decreased gastric tone and peristalsis, emetic stimulus causes relaxation of sphincters of stomach and esophagus and ultimately leads to the contraction of duodenum and pyloric region of stomach. It results in rhythmic contraction of diaphragm and abdominal muscles and results in compression of stomach. Compressed stomach led to evacuation of its content through mouth, that is vomiting. Any unpleasant stimuli, bad odor, ghastly sight, pain and fear, and recall of any obnoxious sight and agent stimulates higher center, that is cortex, and results in vomiting. So let's talk about emetics, the agents or the drugs which can cause emesis. So the first drug we are going to talk about is apomorphine. It acts on chemoreceptor trigger zone, and the another drug is ipecacuanha. It acts reflexly on chemoreceptor trigger zone. Vomiting needs to be induced only when an undesirable substance, that is poison, has been ingested. For first aid, powdered mustard suspension and strong salt should be given in emergency conditions. They act reflexly by irritating the stomach and results in emesis. So let's talk about apomorphine. It is semi-synthetic derivative of morphine. It acts as a dopaminergic agonist on CTZ. It can be injected through intramuscular and subcutaneous route in dose of 6 mg and its action is very prompt. It induces emesis within 15 minutes, 5 minutes. It should not be used if respiration is depressed because it has inherent respiratory and CNS depressant actions. Oral use of apomorphine is not recommended because higher doses are required and the action is also inconsistent. It is therapeutic, it shows therapeutic effect in Parkinsonism but is not used due to side effects. The another drug we are going to talk about is ipecacuanha. It is dried root of Syphilis ipecacuanha and it contains emmetin. It is used as a syrup. 15 to 30 ml syrup is quite enough for adults, 10 to 15 ml for children, and 5 ml in infants to induce vomiting. It should be available in every household for emergency use. It is less dependable than parenteral apomorphine and takes 15 minutes at least to show its effect. It is quite safer as compared to apomorphine. It acts by irritating gastric mucosa as well as through chemoreceptor trigger zone. All emetics are contraindicated in few situations. We don't have to induce emesis, especially if there is corrosive poisoning of acids and alkali, because there is risk of perforation and more injury to the esophagus. Second condition is whenever there is CNS stimulant drug poisoning, because there are chances of convulsions. Third condition where emesis should not be induced is kerosene poisoning, because there is chances of aspiration of the liquid and chemical pneumonia are high. Unconscious patient, we don't have to induce emesis in unconscious patient because laryngeal reflex is quite impaired and aspiration can occur. Morphine or phenothiazine poisoning. Emetics are ineffective in morphine and phenothiazine poisoning. Thanks for watching.